Welcome back to Big Burst TV, and on today's episode what I'm going to be showing is my RC cars. Well, now this is a 110 scale Redcat Racing EXP Drift car, I think it is. And I've had this for, I don't know, I want to say 5, 6, maybe even 7 years. I'll look it up. But I bought this car. It didn't come with this body, of course. And it was a drift car, so it came with those hard plastic tires. And I knew I wanted a road car and not a, but I like the style of it. I forget which body this came with, but you know, 110 scale body. I bought this Lexan body, which you can see it's been through the paces. I've beaten this thing up. Look, I got some packaging tape here holding on the front bumper. Overspray on the inside from when I resprayed it. I'll try to put up a picture of the way this thing looked when I first painted it. Let's see if I could get this. Okay, this is a new thing for me, new format, this type of video. So please be patient with me. My normal subscribers, I still love you, still love watches. Boom for you guys. You got the Seiko SRPE 5.3 lightly modded. Got the Seiko buckle. That's an OEM Seiko buckle there. The Benchmark Basics sailcloth strap and the signed crown. For those of you who loyally subscribe to me and my followers, you know the shenanigans that went on building this thing. But anyway, back to the car. It's a bit dusty here, but I did some mods on this car, some light mods. I got this aluminum anodized chassis. I kept breaking this front part off here of the chassis on the front bumper. The chassis come plastic. Let's see, I have another one. Let me go grab it. I know some of you are like, dude, why don't you just get everything you need before you start shooting? Hey, this is a hobby for me, so I guess you get what you get. But this is my son's model. It's the same one. It's not modified at all, I don't believe. But I'll take out these body pins if I can get them out. And we haven't run these cars in a while. I've run mine recently, but this one I need to do some repairs on. But one of the great things when we got these was seeing my son work on them. You know, he likes to bash them. So with the road cars, his whole thing was just driving and trying to catch me and crash into me. But this is how it came. It has this, I guess, a body brace or the upper body part that is aluminum. It's anodized, and everything else is plastic. So this is the way the chassis would have looked. And you see this part up here, I kept breaking off. And so, you know, my driving skills aren't all that. So I did some mods on this. This one, I was fortunate enough to get it with an ESC that's capable of accepting a LiPo battery. I think that's what it is when it does the 3 beeps. When you click it on, it's the beep, beep, beep. Yeah, like that. So that's really good. I'm not messing around with the LiPo batteries, but as you can see, the differences in the chassis. This chassis wasn't perfect for this car. I had to drill some holes for some of the mounts and flush mount. You know, I had to, these are flush mount screws in here, and some of them I had to drill out and then ream it out so that, as you can see right here, like for instance this one, that hole, it has to be reamed out so that the screws will sit flush. These screws here, I didn't have any screws, so I used these. They're not flush at all, but that was to hold up the battery posts. And then I have this strap from another car to hold in the battery, because the posts, these little clips, were not included that hold in the battery. So, and this is let's see, on his, it's the Hexfly 3000 milliamp hour battery, which I believe the car comes with. Some of them come with, I think some of them even come with a lower rated milliamp battery hour battery. But I found out, this is a trick. Hope he's not listening, but I found out that if you put a higher milliamp battery in your cars, they'll go faster and for longer. So this is a 5000 7.2V nickel metal halide battery pack. I forget how much I paid for these with the banana connectors, but the car goes extremely fast, or at least faster with these than with the lower batteries. I have a, let me see, they come in the cars ready to run, but they say ready to run. None of the controllers came with batteries. This one takes 8 AA batteries, and this might be old technology to some, but these controllers are decent. You got your trim adjustments and forward, reverse, and all of that. You know, it works. It does the job. I just turned the car off. But then I got another model from Redcat. The truck is a short course truck, which I'll show in a second, that came with this, which is much smaller, and it only requires 4 batteries in here. It does the same job with only 4 batteries. So some of you new people out there to RC, when you get these cars and it says ready to run out of the box, just know that you're gonna have to charge it up, and you may have to get batteries for the remote or the controller. But you know, when I was much younger, story time, Bricks. When I was much younger, one of our neighbors had, he was deaf, and I thought it was really cool because, you know, I would see him signing with his friends and everything. An older gentleman, or older to me. I don't know, maybe 10, around there, I want to say. And so this was in the 80s, and he had a monster van, like the A-Team type of van, that sort of thing, Chevy van body with the monster truck wheels on it. And I thought it was so cool. I believe it was gas powered, and no, actually it was electric, because he used to charge it up with the lamppost, you know, the street light. He used to plug it in. Somehow he had it rigged up, and he could get power from the street post and just charge it up while he was out there. And I thought that was so cool. And that thing was so fast. You know, we were relegated to the cheap. I think this is called the Blackout short course. We were relegated to the cheap turn and reverse cars at the time. There used to be a stationery store close to where I lived, and I'm gonna have to move the camera back. This thing is kind of big. In the window they had these old Tamiya cars, and they had like the Grasshopper and some other stuff, or fake versions of them, you know, with the turn and reverse. Some even going back all the way to the wire was connected to it. It was a remote control car, not a radio control car where it had the wire, you know. But these things are really nice, and I think I paid about 170 bucks for these, shipped, which was great, you know, for entry level, you know, starter car that you could bash around. This one, this short course Blackout, it's really nice. It's got a nice suspension on it. It has a load of adjustments here, and I think I put a 5000 milliamp battery in this one too. Let's see. Yep. And see, that strap came from one of these. The strap that I put over here on this one, you could probably still see it. Yeah. I took the strap out of here, but these are really nice. And look at that heat sink here. These vehicles are waterproof. They're all 4-wheel drive, and they work really well. Let me grab the battery that this one comes with and show you when you get it out the box. I'll do that off camera. Okay, I got that pin in. So this is a brand new one. I mean, I ran it on the roof up here a couple of times, which is why the tires are dirty. But it sat in the box for about 3 years, not used. Box is over here. Let's see. And I got my trusty box O parts and tools. Some of you may know my trusty bag O straps. I got my trusty box O parts and tools. And yeah, here's the battery. So 3000 milliamp nickel metal halide battery with a banana connector. And I forgot what I was saying, but anyway, I got miscellaneous tools and tires and parts in here. This stuff is pretty inexpensive. I mean, it does add up, but you can get stuff good. But the main thing I wanted to show was, this was his car. I got back into it, and I got him into it. There's a great bonding tool. It was a great thing over, you know, being able to wrench on these cars and what have you. So I bought us the drift cars, and then we put road tires on them, and then I started doing hop ups. You know, I fell into that whole thing. And then I got the short course trucks because he likes to bash them. So this is more bashable, but by that point, we stopped going out and running the trucks and everything like that. So, you know, he's growing up, going through his teens, whatever. So we kind of moved away from it. But I still, you know, pull them out every once in a while and just run them, try to get them to come with me. But I wanted to show you, this was his, which is why I sat in the box for a few years. This one was mine. Let's see. And as you can see, it's got, I got tar on here, and check this out. Oh man, look at this. Look how the wheels are just dangling on it. Just, I broke this poor thing up. Let me get the body off. I hit a couple of curbs. You know, I run it in the street mostly, and what I was doing was jumping curbs, you know, running the street. Then when I see a car coming in traffic, I would, you know, get up on the curb to get out of the way, and I was jumping curbs, and I broke the everything. These arms, these are all replaceable. But by the time I go and buy the hop-up kit to replace, that comes with all the replaceable parts. Here, look at this. The tie rods, steering knuckles. I don't know if I'm getting that. Let's see. I got a tie rod hanging over here. A tie rod hanging over here. Steering knuckles are broken. Control arms. Dog bones hanging out. It's a mess. And so I said to myself, I looked up all the parts to see in this empty battery slot. That's where that other 5,000 milliamp battery went. But when I like how it says caution, hot motor. When I went to look up the parts, I said, okay, you know, I knew the parts wasn't going to be so expensive for this. So I looked up the parts, but as you add it up, I might as well have just bought a new car, you know. And so I started looking back into it, and, you know, there's new stuff that came out, newer stuff. But these things are really nice. I mean, I know there's a whole bunch of brands you could go with, but, you know, Team Associated was the car that my brother gave him. It was a I want to say 1/16 scale, maybe. And I was driving it, showing him how to do it, and then I got it run over by a truck in the street, and it smashed it. That thing was still working, but obviously it had some plastic components on it, and it was, you know. Brake on here is good. So, you know, I probably, if there's enough interest, I'll do some videos of me running these things and showing you the difference maybe between the different levels of the milliamp hour batteries and what have you. But and some pictures of different Lexan bodies. This body I painted. This body came painted. I think it was like 20 bucks on eBay, something like that, and pre-drilled. These bodies, all the bodies that I had, I painted. So I did this paint job, and I'll use the pic that I had for this paint job on the thumbnail. Maybe superimpose some pictures on there, but this is the BMW E39, I believe, wide body. And you know, the nice bodies. I forgot where. I think I got this from a local hobby shop. But I really like the E30 BMW style bodies. I've had two E30s in real life, the 1-to-1 scales. And so, you know, just a few hop-ups, and, you know, it comes with everything you need. And, you know, throw a couple of bucks on some tires. Maybe, you know, I don't know what else you might want to do with these things, but you can see how much I scraped this up, how I have the ride height set up, and then with the heavier battery. That's another thing, with the battery riding on the left side here, with this heavier 5,000 milliamp hour battery, you can see there's a whole lot of scraping on this side. I think I adjusted the suspension, but initially this whole side was scraped up, and then this side wasn't. So I adjusted the ride height with, you know, the controls. I gotta stop saying, you know, so many, but you see how many adjustments there are there, right here, for the ride height, and then you have a couple of adjustments here and a couple of adjustments up here. So there's a lot you can do here. So for any of you looking to get into the hobby, it's not that expensive, at least to start out with. And then once you get more serious into it, you know, there's a lot of things you could do, custom builds, this and that. Same thing with the watches, you know, you could do custom builds. This I would be more likely to do custom builds with than with watches. You know, I'll do a mod here and there. Maybe I might even do a sapphire crystal on this, but only if and when this one scratches. So, and then my SRP G39, I was thinking about changing that. I don't know why I keep having the urge to mod that watch. I already broke one, so if you haven't seen that video, well, it was an explanation. I didn't break it on camera, but that was before my YouTube days. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you think. This was the first video, just an idea that popped into my head. You see how filthy my hands are now, so I gotta go wash those up, put this stuff away. If you know of any hop-ups that you've done with this, if you own one of these, let me know what you've done. These things run really good and relatively fast. I know you could get brushless motors and all kinds of stuff like that, but they're adequately fast for me. I mean, I can hardly drive them in a straight line. I'm trying to find out, oh, where the controller is. The remote is over here. But another thing I liked about these is that the controller is mated with the control here. I don't know if it's the ESC or whatever it's called, but whatever is mated to this. So it's 2.4 gigahertz. Remember we used to have I think it was the 49 and 27 or 29 and 47, and if you were on the same radio wave as your buddy, you could control his car. Well, with these it's not like that, you know, it's mated, so you could all be on the same wave, but it's mated to the car. So anyway, I think I was supposed to turn on the car first, yeah, and then this. Yep, there we go. Am I even showing that? Yeah. Yeah, these things are muy rápido. And with my son's car, this one, something's going on with the steering there. And what I was just talking about with the control, let's see, turn his on. Where's the power switch? I relocated my power switch here, which is dangling, but his is, I believe it's in the stock location, which obviously I cannot find right now. Oh, it's not even plugged in. But anyway, there's something going on with his steering. See, it's really hard to steer. It may be the servo. So I don't know, I'll look into that. And when he gets around to it, maybe we'll wrench up on it. I'll update this if, you know. But anyway, Big Brits TV, doing RC. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I'll see you on the next one.